record. I've had some nasty misses with that, forgetting to do so and having big initiatives. It's
Never again.
not a good thing. All right, we're here with Fredrik Larsen from the mighty HAMMERFALL, a new band that turned up over 30 years ago, and we're gonna have a chat and see what's going on. Okay, Fred, how'd the band come together 30 years ago, as I just said? Where did it all begin?
Wow. Well, it actually began with Oscar and me were playing together in a death metal band, and he had this dream of doing a heavy metal band, which he did, and that was before my appearance in that band. So it was just for like rock competition that we had in Gothenburg, our hometown. So we kind of played once every year just for that show. Uh, and in '96, a friend of mine actually shot a video of a couple of songs on that competition, and we sent it to a record label, and it just took off. That's how it all began.
Boom, boom, boom. Well, death metal mustn't have been too old in '93, surely. How long had it been going? Has it been going for, I can't imagine. I can't remember it before like the '80s or anything like that.
I was in the end of the '80s, '89, '90.
So it
I
must
think
have
I
been
guess '90, '91. That's where when
pretty
the death metal period came on along.
pretty new. Okay, so again, just quickly for any people that don't know much about you, 30 years, you got a couple of highlights or lowlights, or maybe some, notable changes, like the president got assassinated or something or other, or, anything.
Yeah, there's been a lot of things happening, of course, during 30 years. So I was in the band '96. We released our debut album '97, Glory to the Brave, and that one really took off fast. And that's in that time I actually left the band
Worldwide or in Sweden?
worldwide.
Worldwide.
Um, yeah, because at that time, '97, there was no such thing as heavy metal. I mean, it was all about grunge and more aggressive music. So there was no place at all for heavy metal at that time. So a lot of people saw us as like saviors of heavy metal because nobody believed in that kind of music at that time. We were actually laughed at when we got to the competition because no one played that kind of thing, and we stepped up full on with leather and studs and everything because we wanted to, you know, look like our heroes, the music that we grew up with. Um, but I left the band in '97, just after the record was released, and came back 10 years later in 2007. And then the band was really, already a big establishment. So it was really fun getting back to the rehearsal space with the guys because they were pretty much the same. But everything around it was big business, of course, since it was a big success for HAMMERFALL during those 10 years.
Wow. And when we think about Sweden, I suppose we think about ABBA, I suppose, or something like that.
Yeah,
Right? So, but as you just said, there's a big appetite for metal and heavy metal and all that sort of gear, and obviously you started to fill that appetite. So that's interesting. There's probably a whole interview around that 10 years away, I suppose, and wondering what you were thinking about this band that you'd been in that's, bigger than Ben-Hur, and you're not in it. That there must have been some thoughts in that 10 years that sort of gave you some, especially as a young man.
yeah, but I was actually, I always, when I thought about HAMMERFALL during that time I was away, I was always happy because I was a part of it from the beginning,
Yeah.
and I just wish them all the success they could have. I mean, I saw them on newspaper in the daily press. I saw them on TV shows, and so it was always fun to think about it, that I was actually a part of it from the beginning. And I was, at that time, I was more into death metal, thrash metal. So I was kind of happy where I was anyway.
Okay. As you were saying, everyone has influences. You wanted to turn up and look like, your idols, I suppose. Who were they? Who were the influences? Who were those influences you were turning up to look like?
For me, it was definitely Accept. That was the first record I bought. That was the first big live show I went to. I was actually too young to get there myself, so I had to drag my mom there. And I'm really, really happy that she did come with me and a friend. So it was really great. That was my Peter Bolt's on bass, phenomenal. So yeah, Accept was my big thing. But of course, I listened to all that kind of music, Iron Maiden, um, I don't know, Mötley Crüe, whatever, all
Yeah.
those famous big bands.
That are still around today, like
Yeah.
yourselves. So it's a fantastic thing. It seems like no one sort of retires in that environment. They just get older, and they might not hit the same notes, but
No,
the shows are better than ever. So
yeah.
God bless technology. Uh, your latest album, Avenge the Fallen, which I believe is your 13th, uh, was released just last August.
Yeah.
What's it all about? Describe its origin and evolution.
I think this for us is a step forward, a small step, but it's of course it's classic HAMMERFALL. It's 80s heavy metal in a new form. That's what we always strive for to make. For us, I think we've done a great job with this one, and we still write songs for an album. It's not just singles that we release. We want to make an album. So it's some ups and downs in tempo, and you have to be there for the whole journey. So I guess old school heavy metal fans, that's the way they want to consume music, I hope.
Yeah.
Um, I want to sit down with a vinyl and listen to side A and then side B. So it's a big journey, and you can sit down and read the lyrics while you're listening. So and I think everybody did a great job on this one, especially David with the drums, phenomenal. Joachim with the vocals, and I mean, guitars and bass. We just had the drums to fill up the tracks, and then we started layer everything on top of it, and it turned out really good. I think I'm really happy and proud of this album.
Is it much different from the start? Like, have you changed much, or is it like you were saying? Is it?
It's small progressions from every record, I think, but from what I've read, it seems like a lot of fans think this is a way to return to the old school HAMMERFALL.
Tradition?
Yeah, um, I'm not sure it is, but I'm kind of glad that they think it is. I, it might have to do something with a bit more fast-paced songs, um, and I don't know what it is, but
Well, I think consciously we're all living life, and so we're all in the moment, and we're all having all sorts of personal experiences, etc. And creatively, we're trying to continually bring out something that pleases. And
yeah,
we might have an idea in our head that it's different, and if the fans say it's the same, it doesn't really matter. Just so long as they're pleased, that's the main.
yeah.
Everyone can believe what they want to believe. What are the signature tracks on the album for you? Which are your favorites to play?
Um, I mean, to start off with the singles, I think they're really strong. Hail to the King, Avenge the Fallen, and we have um, slips my mind. Um, uh,
What do
what's it
you
called?
find? What do you find the fans wanting? You know, because obviously the fans are pretty, you know, that what are the fans responding to so far, especially?
I think they really like the Avenged the Fallen song. It's an opening track, and it's a bit odd. It's a slow-paced song, or mid-tempo at least, and really chanting. Um, and it feels like the fans really like it. It goes when we play it live, it really hits everyone. So it's nice to see the reactions. And the thing is to play the songs live for the first time. That's when we get the credit if it's good or not, for real. I mean, there's always people saying stuff about our songs, and it's always the loudest that gets their voice heard. So if people don't like a song, don't take it too seriously, because if we play it live, then we see the reaction it gets.
Yeah.
So
Okay, you're beginning a tour here next week.
yeah,
What are you looking forward to? What can the fans expect? How many times you've been out here now?
with Hammerfall just once. That was 2014, so it was a long
10
time
years
ago.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was there 2007, I think, with Evergrey,
Okay.
way back. So yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm really looking forward to just get to Australia, being there, and enjoy the country, the weather, everything. Because right now it's really bad weather in Sweden. It's horrible. So I'm looking forward to some nice weather, and of course playing at smaller clubs, and seeing the Australian fans for the first time, for many of them. And it's gonna be tight, it's gonna be sweaty, it's gonna be a lot of energy. That's something that is really important for us to bring a good live show, even though we don't bring like big stages and pyros and stuff. We're just gonna scale down and just bring the energy.
Again, it's, you know, you got to satisfy the fans. So it doesn't really matter what you bring, as long as they walk out happy. That's the main thing. And I think you know, a lot of dedicated fans. And at this stage, after 30 years, you've got some dedicated fans. They're going to
Yeah,
be they're going to be happy with the music and, you know, jumping around and engaging.
the
So
essential. Yeah.
you don't have to worry about spending another 100 grand on some sort of effect or whatever.
Uh,
Okay. I've been to Sweden myself. I was there in the 80s
okay.
in the summer. So it was, you
Yeah.
know, daytime all day sort of thing, you know, it was light all day. So I can't
Was
imagine
it on a Wednesday in the
I
80s, or the
can't
summer?
imagine I can't imagine what it would be like as cold as it gets there, because it certainly gets cold. Is this tour a part of a world job, or is this just an independent thing? And where are you touring for the rest of the year? Are you doing many tours this year?
We did a lot of touring this fall, and done a lot of live shows during the summer, last summer. So now we're doing Australia, and then we jump off 70,000 tons of metal the week after. And then we actually have a small break, as it looks, to do the summer festivals again, starting in May, I guess.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. So
and then
you've
we're going to have something to do in the fall.
done the States?
Um, Not sure yet. There's plans, but nothing confirmed. So I
Germany?
guess we just have to wait and see. We had a lot of plans in the pipes, but nothing confirmed yet. So yeah, we need to wait a couple of months more.
All right. If you could perform with any music artist, alive or dead, who would you choose? Why?
Oh, for me, I would love to perform with Dio as one of my all-time favorite singers. So that would be really cool. And from what I've heard, he's a really nice guy as well. Hammerfall toured with Dio a long time ago, but I wasn't in the band at the time, unfortunately.
In the 10
That's
year
one thing I really
10-year
miss.
break. In the 10-year break. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you know,
Yeah,
you'll find that people who last are usually pretty good. There aren't too many arseholes, because that's how they last. Because
yeah,
if
yeah,
they're arseholes, they don't really, you know, everyone sort of has it in for them.
yeah.
Okay. After 30 years, do you still have long-term aspirations? Like, is there enough life left to have these long-term aspirations to do things? And if you do, are you progressing towards them? What are the goals for the band?
Um, I'm not sure we have like set goals, but of course we wanna keep growing. As of now, we grow a little bit year by year. Um, I'm not expecting it to peak to blow out proportion tomorrow, but as long as we think it's fun to be on stage and it's worth the effort that we're putting in, uh, I think we're gonna continue a long time. Because right now we're having a lot of fun actually. We're doing stuff on tour that we didn't do 10 years ago. We try to go out, having dinners, make things that we not usually do, like going to a wine yard, testing out stuff and
Yep, yep.
just having fun together.
Do
So
you, do you get into the social media stuff much? Because obviously it's a pretty big part of the environment
yeah,
these days.
I hate it. I'm
Yeah.
so old.
Most people, it's one of those things that it's probably the scourge of society. If we had another
Yeah,
we'd probably say that we've probably got the highest suicide rate and the highest mental health bloody issues, and most of them come from this stupidity. And then when you see what they're doing, like X and Musk and bloody and America,
yeah,
it's just a
yeah.
crazy old scene. So, but it's a big part of the
It's
world.
important channel, of course, to
That's where
promote yourself, and
it's,
so yeah,
TV and newspapers, they're sort of a part of the past. People are rather lying on their bed with their phone than they are
yeah,
watching the 80-inch TV. So
yeah,
you've sort of got to subscribe to it in some way,
yeah,
potentially. I
yeah.
suppose
Of course,
the
that's. I
label
mean,
probably want you to.
yeah, yeah. So social media today is what MTV was in the 80s, So you got to be there, otherwise you're gone.
Yeah,
So
you got to be a
uh,
part.
it's
And
an important tool, but for me personally, I don't post a lot. I don't feel like I have to say a lot. So I mean, I'm just trying to be there sometimes
you've got
and
to you've
thank
got
the
to
fans.
you've got a baked-in audience. So
Yeah,
whether you post or whether you don't post, it's probably not going to change the numbers too greatly.
no, no,
And there's a lot of people playing your music as we talk right now around the world.
yeah,
That'll
yeah,
keep happening. All right.
that helps us. Yeah,
What piece of advice would you give to an artist starting out? Obviously, when you started out, everything was different. We were
yeah,
selling CDs, and we didn't have, in some ways, in that 10, 15 years after you started, the record companies were wondering how to survive, and then they
yeah,
found streaming and all this sort of stuff, and so they've done pretty well. But the artist, in some ways, is worse off today than they've ever been from the a return on their investment sort of thing, because there aren't a lot of opportunities to make a quid unless you
mm,
make it, and
yeah.
for everyone else, it's hard yards. So, what would you say to someone if they were starting out today?
My advice would be, I mean, everybody can make um, a really good recording these days. It's gonna sound good because the things you get at home, uh, phenomenal. It's gonna sound perfect. But do your homework in the rehearsal space. Uh, get the job done there. Be tight with the band, and also play live a lot. You don't have to have a hit song the first thing you do, because if you struggle, just have fun in the rehearsal studio. Go out and play live, and then you can make your songs sound as good as you can, of course. That's how you evolve. Uh, Nobody likes the band that makes an awesome record. It sounds fantastic. You see them live, and it sounds like crap because
No,
they didn't have the time to do the job.
I think COVID showed us that. Lots of people
Yeah,
tried to do music online while
yeah,
they couldn't go out, and no one was interested. And then as soon as we got live shows again, everyone came out and the thing sort of flourished. So I agree with that. That's good advice. You know, get your the lives where all the audience feels you, and you want them
Yeah,
to feel you because that's what makes them baked in. So I
yeah.
agree with that. What's the best thing about, if you close your eyes, don't close your eyes, but if you close your eyes, what's the best thing about performing to a live audience? You know, what gets you today that probably got you when you started 30 years ago?
That's actually the thing that I live for, being on stage. Um, because you get so much energy from the crowd if you just you're in synergy with the crowd. So if the performance is good and the crowd likes it, you get so much back. It's get even better, and then we have this big party together. You should interact with the audience, and to be able to see people in their face and in their eyes, to see the joy, and it's just phenomenal.
Having them
I love it.
having them sing your words back? No, it's
Yeah,
yeah,
they
go.
even sing the guitar riffs sometimes, and it's yeah,
All right.
fantastic.
Just before I finish with some personal sort of questions or just some quick questions, if you had to pick out one highlight in 30 years, which is ridiculous, but if you had to pick out one highlight in the 30 years, what would it be? If someone said to you, what's your best Hammerfall moment?
Um, for me, it would be, I've told this before, but being on stage in my hometown, Gothenburg, they had this celebration of the city, um, and the biggest avenue in Gothenburg. At the top of that is a big statue, and they built a stage, and we performed there, and the whole street was packed. It was so much people and friends and family and everybody was there. So it was really fantastic.
How long
It
ago was
was
that?
great. It must have been in 2010, I think. So it was long ago.
Big,
But
big.
also first time playing Wacken open air in Germany. It was like, I don't know, 80,000 people. It's something you can't imagine being
Yeah.
on stage.
Well, we see it when we saw like Live Aid and Freddie
Yeah,
across the stage with half a microphone stand and the crowd is just moving like a wave. You can
yeah,
only imagine what's that like to perform to,
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's unbelievable. So you get that when you're performing in a full room, even if they've got 500 in a full room, you can see that sort of sway, and it is.
yeah,
I can just imagine, not having done it, I can feel what it must be like. All right, let's
yeah.
finish with some quick questions, and a few of these are about you, and then the rest are a few favourites. So, what's the craziest thing you've ever done?
Crazy thing.
Yeah, the police. Watch out for the police because you've got to get in here. They won't let you, they won't let you through customs.
I actually have never been arrested or anything like that. I'm a pretty calm person, so can't say I've done any
You've done no,
specifically crazy things.
no crazy things like
No,
put your pants on back to front or anything. No, nothing crazy. What's
I don't
what's
do that.
what's one topic you can talk about for hours?
Probably bass pedals.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a big collector and just love fiddling around with pedals. I got tons of them and still buying. Can't get enough.
I used to be a pawnbroker many 20 years ago, whatever, and we
Yeah,
used to sell everything. And people would come in for the tube screamer and all this sort of stuff. They'd have favorite pedals, and they'd be like you say, they'd be diseased to get a particular pedal, and you'd have a
yeah,
whole window of pedals, and they'd want one particular pedal. If it came in, they'd give you everything for it, and you just sort of
yeah.
wonder. So I understand what you're talking about. What's the thing you like most about yourself?
Um, wow. I think I have an easy way to go along with people. So I always make friends, and I'm easy to hang out with.
That's good. That's good. That's good. All right, let's finish with some very easy questions that people hate. Favorite album?
From all or Hammerfall album?
What? No, favorite album that you like? Favorite album of yours?
Okay. Wow, that's really hard. But one album that was spinning a lot was Carnival. Um, uh, uh, so, what's the name of the album? You know, the Australian band Carnival,
Cannibal,
right?
yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Um, just a second. It's right here somewhere. Uh, I,
Oh, hang on, I'll tell you. How old? An old album or a new album?
yeah, like this Sound Awake, of course, from 2009. Sound
Sounds
Awake,
away. Yeah. Okay, well, that's a good album. That's obviously
fantastic. Yeah,
Carnival.
I like prog metal, Opeth, and yeah, a lot. The latest album of Opeth is fantastic.
We're gonna have to stop now for the national anthem because you just named an Australian band. So we're gonna have to, have a favorite artist.
um,
Don't you hate them? Terrible questions these.
yeah, it's so hard. Favorite, let's say Dio.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah,
Favorite movie.
favorite movie. It's so hard to just go down
Yes,
with
of
one
course.
movie.
Well, what am I gonna? I'm gonna ask you how old you are. That's pretty simple.
Ah, um,
We're
I
just
was
trying to get a
really into.
flavour. We're trying to get a flavour for who you are. So you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
be
yeah.
anything, but can
I
be the
really
one.
like the. Okay, I'll go with 28 Days, the zombie movie,
28 days.
UK.
Well, I
Yeah.
thought you'd say something like The Sound of Music or something like that, for his homeland.
Yeah.
Favorite place to visit?
Um, I would go with Hawaii. Only
Well,
been there once, but it was
not smart,
really nice.
not smart when you're coming here next week. Favorite venue to play?
Um, oh,
Well, after where you played was obviously the favorite place you played ever. But is there a venue that you play that you sort of say, it's pretty cool?
there's
Too
so
many.
many cool places to play.
Too
Yeah,
many.
it's too
Too
many.
many.
Yeah,
Favorite
yeah.
food?
Favorite food? I had some really good Asian food yesterday that I said that I could actually eat Asian food all the time.
Favorite
Yeah.
drink?
Uh, had a really good caipirinha a couple of days ago.
Really good what?
But I like a caipirinha,
Okay. What is that?
but it's um, it's from South America, with um, I'm missing out the
I only
words right
ask,
now.
I only
Yeah,
ask because
no.
I
Let's
try
go
and
for
edit.
champagne instead.
All right, I try and edit the interview. If someone says something that's obscure, and it takes me about 20 minutes to try and spell the thing correctly, because I got to find it. All right, champagne's good. Champagne's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Good for all occasions, and the females generally like it because of what it leads to afterwards. Favorite person in history.
Favorite person in history.
I'm just saying,
Um,
sometimes people tell stories about Mandela, or they tell stories about, their mum,
yeah,
something,
yeah.
and no, you don't have a favorite. You love everyone.
No, yeah.
All right,
Don't have any.
and tattoo favorite. Do you have a tattoo?
Yes, I
Do you
have
have
a
a
lot.
favorite?
Um, sure.
Were they? Do they?
I
Did
have
you
this
say
like yeah. I'll have a
too
an
many?
angel and a
Oh
devil.
yes. Very good,
So it's
very.
like
And where do you get?
I'm
Do you
I'm
get
in
them
between
everywhere?
those two.
Do you get them everywhere, or do you get them like at home?
I got my arms and one on my leg. So I stopped doing this for 10 years ago was my last thing I did. So it might be time to do something new. I don't know.
And are they music? Do they originate in music, or did you get tattoos?
No, it was just things that I liked. So I just put them on. I have no stories. I have no intentions, and it's not my life. It's more who I was at that time, what I liked. So
That's good, man. Well, that's about it. That's about it. That's about half an hour. It's about as much as anybody's going to listen to. Maybe we can get the band to sign one of those gold records in the background there, and we can give it away. No,
oh yeah.
I don't think we're going to do that. So, but maybe I'll get on to John and ask him if he'll get you to sign a T-shirt or something or other, and we'll give it away or whatever.
Sure, no problem.
But we'll work that out.
Problem.
But it's great.
Yeah.
It's really great to talk to you. I look
Same.
forward to. I probably don't get out there. I'm too old these days. Too old to get out there.
Oh,
And especially when it's talking about heavy metal and all that sort of gear, it's a bit past my stage. But I'm sure you're going to be. Look, I've done research for the interview, and you're well regarded. So I'm sure it's going to be a huge success. And we have an appetite. One of the things about Australian audiences, and I think most of people say this, is they're pretty good to play to, because they
yeah.
get they're not sort of bridled by any dramas. So I'm sure you're going to fall. Thanks very much for your time, and
Thanks for having me.
have a great tour, and have a great life.
Thank you very much. I'm sure it's going to be one hell of a party in Australia. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Good on you. All the best.
All the best. Thanks.